So my creature parts are all blended. However, my colors are pretty different from each other. This has got much more of like a bluish black cast versus the orange color of the cougar. So I want to get these things together. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but I'm going to show you one that I think is probably the most reliable. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint in a texture of the cougar behind everything that I have that is crocodile. Okay, so I need to Command or Control click on the picture of the tail layer. And if I want to add the head in as well, I'm going to hold down Command or Control and Shift, which adds to my selection. In fact, you can see up here, there's a little plus appears in there. I'm going to click on the head. So now I've got all that stuff selected. Now there is one little issue that I'm going to run into on this, and that is I've got this part up here which is blocked out on the mask, but you can still see it. I don't want that. So this is how crazy cool selection tools are. I'm going to come up to, I'm going to go to the cougar layer because I know this is sky, which is different than the cougar. I'm going to go to my quick selection tool, hold down my Alt, which subtracts from a selection, and paint in this area. And you can see that that really pretty much got rid of that. Now if I need to fine tune this a bit, I can come in here with the lasso. I'm going to hold the shift down and grab that. Once again, be picky. Always be picky. There we go. All right, so I've got a selection that matches my dude, or whatever he is. Dudette? I don't know. So, okay, so I've got all the areas selected. Oh, missed that small section down there. How did that happen? Command Shift click. Okay, grab that. By the way, I grabbed this too, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's just some leftovers. It's not going to show up, so who cares? Okay, so I go to my cougar layer, turn these things off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clone stamp, fuzzy edge, 100%. I'm going to fill all this in with cougar texture because I want the color, okay? So I'm going to hold down my Alt button to source, and I'm going to paint in some stuff here. Now, I'm not too worried about details because this is actually behind the croc gator tail. I just want the color. I'm going to try not to get too much into the hip because the hip is actually got some detail to make it look three-dimensional. But I do want this orange texture filled in everything there's going to be croc gator. I'm holding down my Alt button. I'm constantly resourcing so I don't end up painting with sky. And once again, filling this in. Alt button down. Alt button down. All this gets painted. This is why I selected this area up here carefully. Okay, so now I've got this orange color behind everything that's the crocodile. So I turn this back on. You're like, okay, that didn't do anything. But right here, this layer is normal. There's a whole bunch of different layer modes that I can use. The one I like is called luminosity, which basically means the color under it is coming through. And now you can see this all matches. Go to the head, normal, luminosity, you get the same thing. There are some other options that you might want to play with. For instance, hue. Well, not that one apparently. But things like overlay. Okay, this makes it look like this colored light is hitting it. Maybe soft light. And maybe, if you don't mind it being dark, multiply. So these are possibilities that might also work. Like this actually might look kind of cool. Might have to play with a little bit, but I think the luminosity is probably going to be your go-to. All right, so bam, there you go.